Let's learn how to evenly dice carrots into a small and medium dice. So before you get started, you're going to need a sharp chef's knife, and of course a cutting board and a carrot to get started, and a vegetable peeler. Grab your carrot and just start peeling. It is a lot easier to dice a carrot when it is completely peeled, so I do think this is an important step. It's not completely necessary, but I much prefer peeling it. Once you are done, clean off your board of all those peels, and then we're ready to get started. Grab your knife and chop off the end of the carrot. Now we're going to make a series of cuts. You're going to want to chop your carrot into about 2-inch pieces. Normally this means you're cutting about 3 pieces of carrot, but this can vary depending on the length of your carrot. So here I have my 3 pieces, and I'm going to use one of these at a time as I'm dicing. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my biggest piece because this is usually the easiest to dice from. Let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see this part because it's kind of the hardest. Use your knuckles as a guide and slice down one side of the carrot to get a flat edge. This is very important since the carrot is round. Now, at this point, you can turn the carrot and make another flat edge. Now I have 2 flat edges and I can lay it down on the cutting board. My goal is to get all the edges flat, so now I'm going to cut another flat edge, again using my knuckles as a guide. Then flip the carrot over and make my last flat edge. The goal is to have a completely square carrot. This will help us get an even dice. Here is what my carrot looks like after being completely squared off, and now we are ready to make our next cut. Lay your carrot down on the board, and for a medium 1/2-inch square dice, I'm just going to cut my carrot in half into 2 planks. Now, depending on the width of your carrot, this could be a different number of cuts, but it's generally about 2 cuts. Remember, you can always use a kitchen ruler if you're unsure. Next, cut those planks in half to form 2 1/2-inch matchsticks. All these 1/2-inch cuts are going to help us get a nice even dice. So I've cut my first plank, now I'm going to cut my second plank in half, and now I have 4 1/2-inch pieces that I can cut into a dice. So I'm going to line them all up, use my knife to get them nice and even, and then again use your knuckles as a guide and start making your last series of 1/2-inch cuts. This will form a beautiful 1/2-inch dice, which is exactly what we're looking for. And I'm just going to keep doing that. And if you have your nice 2-inch pieces at the beginning, it should end up perfectly. I wasn't using a ruler for this, so I have a little excess on the end, which I'm going to discard. But if you use a ruler and measure everything, it should be perfect. So take a look at that dice and see how even it is. Next, let's take that center part and do a 1/4-inch dice. I'm going to start the same way by squaring off the carrot with one piece. You actually don't have to do 2 cuts while it's standing up. You can just do the one and then lay it down and start doing the other cuts. I've done 2. Now here's my 3rd cut, and then I'm going to do a 4th cut, and once again I have a squared off carrot, perfect for my 1/4-inch dice. So for this 1/4-inch dice, instead of doing 2 cuts, this time I'm going to do 3. Again, use a ruler if you're unsure what a 1/4-inch looks like. But I'm doing 3 different cuts to get 3 1/4-inch planks. These pieces are all called planks once again. So this is about what it should look like with a 1/4-inch. Now I'm going to cut them into 3 1/4-inch matchsticks. So everything is pretty much the same. The process is the same, but we're adding another cut, so it's slightly more difficult. And if you didn't measure anything quite right, like I didn't quite measure this exactly to a 1/4-inch, it might not be perfectly even. So if you care about perfection, definitely use that ruler. So now I'm going to grab 3 of my matchsticks and start making my last 1/4-inch cut horizontally to get that dice. I do find it's easier to work in groups of 3 with these rather than try to do them all at once. They can tend to slip around a little bit. So I'm just take 3 at a time and make my 1/4-inch cuts down the entire length of the matchstick. Just go ahead and repeat this process. Grab 3 more matchsticks and dice horizontally, making those cuts. Let me just go ahead and zoom it in a little bit so you can see closer what this looks like as I make these cuts. So there's my beautiful 1/4 inch dice. And if I go back out, you can see the 1/4 inch compared to the 1/2 inch. And don't forget about those leftover pieces. We don't want to waste those. These are great for stir fries. I usually just cut them in half and saute them with some onions or broccoli. Great for Chinese and Asian dishes of all sorts. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'd love to see you around my channel. Check out the left-hand side there for more videos you might like. Thanks for watching.